Guys. This is a little bit different than my normal numbered series to where I do like a fight week or like a competition week or something like that, to where I do a bunch of fun edits. We do a whole month of us hanging out with our friends, training, getting ready to go to competition and stuff. This is a little bit of a different video. Today, I'm going to do my first ever gear review video on none other but the Yibuko lace-up sparring gloves. I'm going to be 100% honest, these gloves they're kind of an all-arounder. You see these, it's got a nice big boxing pad on it. Really good for bag work. I've done bag work in them, I've done some mitt sessions in them, and I've sparred in them so far. I was really surprised when I first got these gloves. I kind of thought, I was like, ooh, these are really big. I'm a fighter, I fight at 135 pounds. I don't got the biggest hands or biggest wrists, so I was a little bit worried when I see a bit bigger of a glove. You get a little bit worried about it not fitting the type of way that you would want it to. This actually looks so beautiful. The colorways, the padding, all of it is very, very beautiful, very stylish, very, very stylish. It's one size fits all, so that's a little bit odd for some people that are used to buying specific. They're like they'll have like a size chart on the page that'll be like width of your hand, length of your hand, wrist diameter, stuff like that. No struggle with these. It's one size fits all, so you can just go ahead and order, and when you order, you're not going to be worried about getting the wrong size. The reason they do that is because this lace-up mechanic in here actually allows the wrist and the whole support system up to your thumb, up to the knuckle, to be completely custom. That's what boxing gloves, tie-up, lace-up boxing gloves do. If you didn't know, if you don't want to fuck around with the laces so much and this bothers you a lot, you can get a lace loop converter. I don't do it because personally, I think it's crispy. I like the look of the tie on the back of it, and I just like tying my gloves up more. If I do ever get too concerned about it, or it becomes something that's a little bit of a time management issue, I gotta get my gloves on fast, I want to get these rounds in, then you can get lace loop converters. You can do that, or you can get these elastic bands that hide the loop or the laces themselves, or you can just old-fashioned tape if you want. You can just old-fashioned tape all the way around them. I do train about 5 days a week, so when I am training, I'm really using my gear. I put all my gear through the ringer, especially my shin pads, my gloves, my mouthpiece, things like that. All that stuff gets put through the ringer, hand wraps, the whole nine, all of it. So this is a great addition to my sparring collection. You can get some pretty decently hard rounds with it. This is like every glove, every MMA glove, you're honestly going to need to have them broken. They're going to need to get broken at first. You're going to be a little bit like wondering how it's going to feel with hand wraps on it. I promise once you get your hands inside these gloves, you're going to wind up loving it. You're going to wind up loving it. They fit real high on the wrist like a traditional boxing glove would. And you can tie them up any of the sort of ways that you'd want to. I have a tiny hand, if you can't tell, and they fit just fine inside of these. If you can't see how massive the pad is on there, it reminds you of an actual boxing glove. Now, if you're worried about eye pokes as well, these are my fingers fully extended. You only see the little nub on the end of them. So this kind of prevents eye pokes in the gym, too. One of the biggest reasons that Yibuko ended up making this glove, period, was because they wanted to make a glove that was going to be able to protect yourself, your hands, and your sparring partners. So those are probably your biggest tools or biggest pieces of equipment are going to be your body. So building gloves that are able to support. If I was to give these gloves a rating based off of out of my 5 years of training, what gloves I've liked the most when it's come to like MMA Shellys, I'm going to put these at number 1. These are my favorite pair, and I've gone through plenty of combat corner gloves. I've gone through Sanibel gloves. I've gone through quite a bit of gloves. I've never done a gear review video, but these are like very pro style. Next up would probably be my Yokows. I have Yokow gloves as well. I like them. I really like my Yokows. I love them. It reminds me of that, and more so. I've never had the lace-up structure before ever in my life, so this was my first time messing around with the lace-up structure. And I really, really, really prefer it now. I don't think I can go back. If I would go back, the only thing I could go back for would be the convenience, how quick you can get it done. But when it comes to, You feel like your hands and it feels better. It feels better. It feels like you're putting on a pro fight glove. It doesn't feel like you're putting on a cheap Velcro or anything like that. Some people like that. There's nothing wrong with that. Personally, I train in with Velcro gloves a lot of the times. I just think that this also prevents the scratches and stuff from Velcro if you are a grappling heavy person like myself. These gloves, certified 10 out of 10. I'm really liking the structure of how all of these are put together. When I put my hands inside of the glove, you have very nice padding on the sides here, here, and here. It's fully supported all the way around your wrist, which feels a little bit further down your wrist than your traditional lace-up gloves would be. Really nice thumb pad. I really do enjoy the thumb pads in here. I like how they have this cotton come all the way. I don't know if it's cotton or what type of foam this is, but I like how they have it come all the way through your wrist, all the way up to where your thumbs and stuff are going to be at. When you put these gloves on, you just unlace them and you stick them in. This fit right here. This part in here is going to take some time to break in. It's honestly going to break in after your first, second session of wearing them. I can fully open and fully close my hand with no problem. Very good size. If you look at the size of these pads, if you compare these, compare the pad on this to this, you have so much more padding to work with. This are my old sparring gloves. These are my old training gloves. These are what I was rocking before. Now I'm wearing these, and I have so much padding in my hands, and I don't lose any ability to lock my hands up, do any sort of grips that I like. I can still do every sort of grips that I like on top, every way around. It doesn't slow my grappling down. The ground and pound feels very nice in them. They're very responsive when you're on the bag and when you're on the mitts. They're very responsive, and they feel more like a boxing glove. I can throw some hooks into the bag a little bit more on the inside of my hand, improper if you will, and it not gonna destroy my hand all the way. You know, it's not gonna do what you would do in some 4-ounce gloves where it would like, oh, that doesn't feel the best. But I really do appreciate the lace up structure, all of it, and I really appreciate this wrist wrap as somebody with tiny wrists myself. But these are very, very, very impressive gloves. I'm very impressed by it. And the price tag is not that bad. Not that bad for premium quality gear being cheaper than some of gear that I've bought in the past that's not of this quality. Now we'll see in the future how they hold up as a year and a half comes by. We'll see how they hold up. But for the price tag that's on them, you really can't go wrong with it. And I'm not gonna lie, they did say that they want to be the more affordable brands than some of these other gloves and stuff out here with real good quality. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I think that price is gonna go up. These are such good gloves, and a lot of people are snagging them up. They're being seen everywhere. And behind the scenes of the UFC Embedded, I mean, you got people in camp. You got Ayman Zahabi, Mario Bautista, Terrence McKinney, Gilbert Burns. They've been spotted on GSP. Like I said, there's just way too many people that they're getting spotted on in the pro scene that are keeping it hush hush because I think they also don't want that price to go up because they know how good of a product that this is. If I were you, I would go ahead and give Yibuko a follow on Instagram and give them maybe some of your money. Maybe some of your money. If you're really into training, you've been training for a little while, and you want to try out an amazing pair of gloves, I would go ahead and recommend Yibuko. Overall, it's like probably the best MMA gloves I've ever worn. And, you know, I've been through a lot of gloves. We beat up our gear around here. I know this isn't what I normally do, but if you did like the video, I'd appreciate it if you left it a like. Subscribe if you're new, and you want to check out my other videos. They're more competition based, a little bit of some fun edits, and we just hang out with all of our buddies that surround MMA and the support system that I do have. So if you enjoyed this video and you want to give Yibuko a look, I highly suggest you go do that before these raise on the market, because these are just too good of a product to slip up, and too many great people are using them for it to be a coincidence. There's a reason that that's happening. It's not just because they're new.